At 8:29, I get a text, and it's for me and Seth, and it says, "Hey Hector, just a heads up. Seth didn't even come by today at all." Figured that you would have an opinion on that. All good if not. You would probably side with him anyways. I'm like, Matt, he had a sponsor stream.
Oh.
It's like when Sydney says, like, you show Seth favoritism. I'm like, yeah, because it's funny. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 189 of the OpTic Podcast. This episode is brought to you by Cash App, and you'll learn a little bit about them more in the upcoming minutes.
See how you said that, troll? Because we're on the couch.
Yeah.
You're like,
I'm relaxed.
It makes you like, it's too relaxed, though.
I feel like I got to tell you about my childhood.
See, like, everyone's going to go like this, lean back.
I never appreciated the way that my mom used to tell me that I was dropped off at her doorstep by the Tarahumara clan of the Indians in the mountains of Chihuahua. And it wasn't that it hurt my feelings, because I knew she was joking, because I was the darkest out of all of her children. Bianca, my sister's light skinned. I'm just I was the dark one, and she was always like, "You got dropped off." And
what did this have to do with being comfy on the couch?
oh, I just thought that we were having like a therapy session and shit.
I just woke up and shit.
I was like,
I just woke up and I just teleported to another comfy sitting comfy.
Comfy?
Comfy.
Hey, Scumpy?
Where'd that come from?
You're so comfy. You're so comfy.
They're getting
Scumpy.
to me.
Yeah.
They're getting to me.
We got my man Money Biscuit to the right. We got my man fucking Nick Maniac Kirshner. Thinks he's going to be running faster miles than me. But once I get my shoes through the door, the kid's going to learn that this 44-year-old phenom is a phenom for a reason. The Scumper Jumper, returning fresh from Saudi Arabia. We'll tell them a little bit about that place. Oh my God!
I felt crazy the past 2 days. This is the third day. See, I don't even count this as the third day, because the first day. Actually, no, this is the third day, because we got back at like 8 p.m. That doesn't count. You get back at 8 p.m. I was asleep 2 hours later. That don't count. And then
so you did fall asleep?
It took me like, I fell asleep at a decent time, but I woke up just feeling unrested. You know how you wake up and you're like, and it doesn't feel like you slept, and you're like, what the fuck? I feel weird.
I hate that.
That's how I felt the past 2 days. Today I feel like more normal, which is good. I feel good.
The best thing that we did while we were there is not let the time zone change affect our sleeping schedule. I was going to bed at 5 a.m.
I feel like y'all sleep like babies.
Yeah.
Well, luckily, everything
I
there.
piss and shit myself through the night.
Seth, bro, I remember Seth told me one time, he was like, I think I was just talking about like waking up like multiple times in the night, and Seth was like, no, I just go to sleep and then I wake up.
Yeah,
I'm like, what the
You wake up in the middle of the night?
100 times.
To do what?
To think.
Do you
just wake up and like start making up scenarios of like what I've been doing bad? No, I don't know. I wake up. It has to be at least like 5 times a night.
Unless
I bet
have
you
to
5
piss,
to 10, and then I usually piss like twice.
Unless I have to pee, like I drink water right before bed.
Like how,
never wake up.
dude? That
out.
just blows. Please, in the comments below, I don't know if I'm the outlier here, but that's just insane to me, because my entire life I've always woken up so much.
It's one of my best
and
traits.
I'll piss twice.
You do wake up though. No,
That
dude,
seems
not
so
even
nice.
to take a piss. Like, rare is the occasion where I have to get up to go pee. You know, like when you're having those dreams where you're gonna go pee, and then like you're like, oh man, if I just let more, and then you're like, oh shit, that was actual pee. You know what I'm talking about? You're dreaming that you're about to pee, and then like, you're peeing, and then you're like, oh, I'm about to let it go, and then you're like, oh shit, that's real pee.
What the hell?
If I wake up and I have to go, I just
You pee in the bed?
No, what? No, I'm saying like you wake up, you're like, oh shit.
I don't know. It sounds like you might be peeing in the bed.
Nah,
over there.
dude.
I don't know why I remember this. When I was a kid, I was sleeping on the couch. I used to be like scared as hell of the dark, and my room was in the back. Bro, I remember I had a dream that my mom was giving me a tuna fish sandwich, and I woke up like this. I'm like,
what the fuck?
I'm like, I'm tweaking.
Yeah, I probably had
Yo, that
something
tuna
like
fish, that shit's good though, man.
Wait, so you guys have never had a dream where you're peeing, and then all of a sudden when you're about to really let go, that's when you wake up?
No,
you're
when
like,
I
oh
was
my
a
God.
kid, that happened to me, and I really pissed the bed. Like,
Oh, what? Nah.
yeah.
No one ever put your hand in
control
water
that.
and then you pee the bed
Dude,
and everyone laughs
imagine
at you.
like grown man piss. It doesn't smell the same as when
No,
you're a kid.
I'm not as a
Grown
grown
man
man.
What do you mean? It doesn't smell the same. That's fucking
You think it's
foul.
raunchier?
Dude, think
Grown man
about
piss.
what you eat now, what you drink now versus what you did as a kid.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
my
as a
body is not
kid,
as pure.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's
No.
not pure at all.
No.
As a kid, my breakfast was like frozen pancakes, Hot Pockets. We were talking about that.
Yeah.
Like I was eating. Me and Michelle were talking about it. Like when we have kids, which we'll see how soon this will be. But when we have kids, like what we're gonna feed them, like we're gonna be those parents that like make them do activities and they're gonna eat clean and eat healthy. But it's like, who knows when it actually happens? You might be like, oh, I don't give a fuck. Eat whatever you want. But like as a kid, just thinking back, just give up on them. Just fucking, I don't care. But as a kid, like I was eating. I can't believe I was like waking up before school just eating like Hot Pockets, just like a pepperoni pizza, 2 pepperoni pizza Hot Pockets, like orange juice, chocolate milk, and like that's how I start my day. Or like donuts, or a bowl of sugary ass cereal. It's like, how is that not so much more talked about than what it was? Because that was like every kid's childhood, right?
I mean, information. Think about like all the independent research that happens nowadays versus back then.
With social media, you just know everything now.
Yeah.
Like back then, our parents were probably so dumb.
Yeah.
The hell?
They weren't dumb. Just
dude, you gotta think.
Listen,
you gotta think about the fact that your parents were being parents for the first time ever. Also,
right, I've been thinking about that.
That's what I tell Liv. Like sometimes I'm like, darling, if you feel like I'm lacking like somewhere, please tell me. This is my first time. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm sorry if I ruin you. But I think we do pretty good. I guess in the end, as long as you keep them alive, you feed them and you water them, like they'll be fine.
That's what's most important.
Yeah, that's it, man.
But I wanted to just say something. So luckily, I just wanted to throw something really quick. But we got lucky in Riyadh because everything happened at night. So like it allowed us to sleep. If everything was happening in the morning over there, we would have been toast. Like everything we had to do was like past like 3 or 4 p.m. pretty much for the entire trip.
Yeah.
So. Dude, if we had to wake up early, like, when did the COD team play? Like, when were they playing? So we started at like what, like 8 a.m. here, so that it's 8 hours ahead there. So they were starting at like 4 p.m. So that's not that bad, because like you felt like semi-normal, like late afternoon, early evening. That's when you started to feel like, okay, I feel normal again. But dude, mornings felt crazy.
Yeah,
felt crazy.
Well, I woke up at noon. I woke up at 1. I would stay in bed until like 3. I was literally like not doing, because over here like Jude's asleep. Who am I gonna talk to?
Yeah, no one's up. Twitter's dead. Nobody's streaming. Like I didn't know what to do. I was sitting in bed watching the History Channel. No bullshit.
I was watching Hunter x Hunter.
I didn't want to like use up all my. I didn't want to use up all my like plane content in the hotel room, so I was like, I was in a tough spot there. We fucked up though. They had Apple TVs that you could ask the front desk for. None of us asked for them.
What'd you guys eat out there?
Of course they did.
We ate the first day when we got there. We ate kapsa, which was these.
It's like a traditional dish. I don't know if it's a traditional Saudi dish, but it's like chicken and rice,
like a Middle Eastern dish. The rice was fire. I the whole time I was there, I was not hungry at all, and maybe it was because of the sleeping schedule or what. But I finished all the chicken. It was fucking delicious. And they were like tiny little like regular chickens, not these American fucking GMO beasts, Hulk chickens. And they were delicious.
Then we had the burger. So we didn't really like explore too much. We kind of stayed in the hotel for the most part.
We were there for work, It was
we didn't really explore, but we had the kabsa, and then we had one of the best cheeseburgers I've ever had. No bullshit. Like from the Four Seasons. I mean, it's the Four Seasons. Like they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
One of the best cheeseburgers I've ever had, hands down. That shit was gas. And then we found this one spot. The only spot we really were going out to was actually at the Boulevard, which was where the esports event was happening. And dude, we went to this place called Cabana. They had shisha, so we get shisha, and then they had this Wagyu beef wrap that was unbelievable.
Never in my life.
Unbelievable. It was the find of the trip. It was like we were like
shisha was fire.
The shisha was good.
I know you were loving it.
There's no alcohol there.
I have to get some smoke in me.
No alcohol at all.
I had to.
Like you can't.
God.
There's like not liquor stores.
No, there's zero alcohol.
What the
Even on the
Damn.
flight leaving, there's no alcohol. So like
What
our flight
the-
from Saudi to Riyadh,
Like
or Saudi to
literally no alcohol. It's just like hard to
Zero.
get.
No, nothing.
They
It's
just
illegal.
don't. It's-
I mean,
oh.
from what we heard from not locals, from non-locals,
Damn, I wouldn't have made it.
is that if you look for it, you can find it, but it's
I'm not
like
looking
you'd
for
have
it.
to.
Then you're walking around
Nah.
drunk. Nobody else
Nobody
is
else
drunk.
is
No one
drunk.
respects that.
You're
Dude,
not looking for it.
They look
I'm
down on that.
Listen, man,
Fuck that.
Yeah.
it was-
They
I
gotta
felt-
approach girls sober and shit.
no, you can't even do that. You can't approach girls like you can't do that.
Can't.
Y'all had to do the esport or the Esports Awards sober and shit.
Sobies,
What do you
dude.
mean? You think I would have drank before that anyway?
Maybe a shot or something.
Hell no.
Dude,
Just get you a little.
Loosen
I
yourself
had-
up.
I had a cold sore.
Get you a little smile.
I had a cold sore for the first time since I moved here from Chicago.
It's healed now. It's gone now.
Yeah, completely gone.
He was tweaking about it the whole trip.
The whole time, I was like, I'm a very vain.
He was like, "Does it look bad?" I was like,
Dude,
I was
Don't
fucking
let
with
him
it.
go
bro,
there.
yeah, I was like, I felt like this. Like I had this big. On my
He asked me, he was like, "Would you do the awards still with this?" And I was like, "I mean, yeah, you have to." He's like, "Would you still do it?" I'm like,
They give you makeup.
dude, let me tell you how this all went down.
Ooh.
They were
I
like,
have this
"Oh my
thing, and I'm like, I'm so self-conscious about it. I'm like, fuck. It's like in 8 years, I don't get it, and now I get it when I'm about to be on national TV.
"Was it on national TV?"
Yeah,
Like
100%?
over there.
a national TV. It was a national. Like they said, like 10 million people tuned in or some shit. I don't know.
I heard that.
I'm-
we heard that, and I was like, "Whoa, we weren't told this. I
Like,
thought it was just going to be
their-
on Twitch."
Like
and,
their cable over
Yeah.
there.
yeah, it was on like cable.
Like their MSNBC or.
Yeah,
yeah, dude. The
Damn, that's crazy.
I didn't see the
Everyone's just
rebrand,
watching
but-
you.
dude. I
10
tell you
million?
what. I haven't been to a cleaner city. Maybe Tokyo. Did you guys know that I went to Tokyo? I'm kidding. It's a joke. It's a joke that I keep talking.
It was one of our inside jokes. Just Hector kept bringing up Tokyo like every opportunity he could. He's like,
But
"Did
I
you
was the
guys know
one-
I went?"
Yeah, but I was the one that caught himself bringing up Tokyo, and then every time I would bring up Tokyo, I'm like, "Did you guys know that I went to Tokyo?" Bro, it was clean. There was no graffiti anywhere, which is like a very, very like telling for me, like what kind of culture they have. But like they don't fuck around over there. Like it's like
No graffiti,
no graffiti,
no trash anywhere.
can't
No-
steal, like,
zero trash. on the
Literally,
streets.
no one
They're, like, homeless?
no one steals anything
No.
because
No homeless. Didn't see many. I mean, dude, I don't even
Yeah,
know
what
how
did-
there would be homeless. It's 115 degrees. Like,
like I
In Japan?
read up
No, in Saudi.
Oh,
I read
Oh, I
up on
thought
the
you were talking
culture a
about
little
Saudi.
bit.
well,
And like what they do and don't, but it's like 1.5 where like you get back twice what your crime was or something. So like if you punch someone, you gotta get punched twice.
wait, are you talking about Japan?
No,
no, Saudi.
well,
Oh.
Saudi. Japan,
Wait.
there's liquor. There's no
Is
weed
it-
in Japan.
Is the punishments actually like really bad for like say you just litter?
I mean, I didn't really.
It's not gonna be bad, but like you'll get in trouble for that. Like they
Well,
don't accept any of
100%.
that.
No, they
any
don't-
type of
no,
bullshit.
they
Any
don't-
type of
no.
like
No,
I heard
disturbing
laws-
the peace.
Well, I was told that the laws are like different for locals there and like people visiting. Like I mean, obviously you're not going to go disrespect their country's laws, but like if you were to do something like that, you'd probably just get like looks or they'd be like, "Yo, what the fuck?"
yeah, they'll give you a warning. But if
Yeah.
you're local, you're fucked. Anyway, long story short, the Four Seasons was super nice. It was safe. I felt like I was dreaming the whole time I was there because I was like so zonked on being wide awake at 3 a.m., which I'm never.
Yeah, they got weed there.
Weed?
Nothing, bro.
No.
There's nothing, man. You wouldn't survive out there, man.
Man,
Nick's
you
like,
gotta-
could I make this?
soap?
Nick's like, could I make this trip? You wouldn't survive
you would
out
not
there,
survive. You would not
Damn.
survive. Overall, it was a very cool experience. I don't really like the 24-hour travel time. That was crazy.
That's rough.
dude. Uber to Uber.
Uber to Uber. Let me tell you, because I
And
haven't
he started it at the start of our. We were like 5 minutes into our Uber when we left our hotel.
23, basically 24 hours.
A full day. So he started that late. So there was an extra 30 minutes in the Uber there and an extra 30 minutes back to our home.
Right,
So
so-
add an hour to that, it was
Yeah.
25 hours total of travel.
total from one door to my door.
My God.
I think my Italy,
That was the only bad part about the trip. Seriously, this is the travel.
and also we had laid down seats. They weren't like they weren't what I'm used
man.
to. Okay, you know what I'm saying,
that
but
must have been rough.
No, we were on Turkish Airlines, and I mean it was really nice. Just the food though, it's like it's very catered to like turkey. And I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't for me. Like, I'd rather have like the fucking fake American Airlines like mac and cheese or whatever they're giving us.
The vegan Hot Pocket they give you.
Like they're like actually giving you like you know, high end. Like I had one of their traditional dishes. It was like a pita with like spinach and feta cheese in it. It was like a quesadilla kind of.
Yeah.
But like they have like local dishes on the airline, so it's like not what we're used to, but it was still good.
The lounges were cool.
That smoked salmon was no joke.
The smoked salmon was fucking insane. They had something at the award ceremony. Let's talk about the ceremony, okay?
Yeah.
Seth is giving his lines, I'm giving my lines, and the whole time I'm with Puckett, and I'm like, oh shit, we got it easy. All we got to do is read this shit. I read ads all the time. It's gonna be a fucking
he had
breeze.
Puckett with him the whole time. I was like out on an island.
I will say, and this will go into a joke later about NADESHOT, but this guy was preparing. Like literally, I was like, I understand. It's like I got to know a little bit more of you on this trip because I literally saw you working on something that isn't what you normally do, and you were fucking, bro. He was taking notes, looking in the air and shit.
Seth was fucking good. I only tuned in a little bit, and I didn't see you, but like I would just tune in randomly, and sometimes I'd catch Seth.
Yeah,
and he was so good. Like just that.
Thanks,
the
man.
like smiley whatever he was saying, but he was just like he was on his shit, you could tell.
Thank you. Yeah, I over prepare for things that I'm like nervous about. I always over prepare, so at least if I mess up, at least I know I like
dude,
you were a natural.
At least I know the preparation's there. I didn't half-ass it. But like, well, we had such different roles because yours was mainly like teleprompter, but I was like the in-crowd host, so I was like I direct,
you kind of gotta like women like just.
Well, yeah. So like my segments, you like kind of know what your segments are gonna be, but I had like bullet points, like things that I wanted to really hit. So like if I ever like started to slow down at a point, I could just look down really quick and be like, oh, this is next. Kind of just segue into that. But there were some segments that were not planned and they needed to fill time, and they were like, just get out there. And I was like, what do you mean just get out there? I don't even know who just won that award. Like, because there's just so much going on, but it ended up working out.
Yeah, it was their first time running it there, so obviously there was going to be some hiccups, and we knew going into it. Obviously, it's live television, so you know you got to be on the fly on that. But I went in there super confident, except for obviously the cold sore. But once they put makeup on me, and the cold sore kind of got hidden, I was back. I'm like, I'm confident. I'm working the room. Like I'm talking to everybody. Like everything's cool, and I'm like, man, this is how women feel when they put on makeup. They just get elevated. I was like, oh my God. Anyway, I get there and immediately I feel, I'm like, man, like it hit me when we were in the tunnel, and I'm like, the teleprompter's not going to work. I had a feeling. And sure enough, we get up there and then we're doing something. And then what was fucked up is that sometimes they would mute your mic and sometimes they wouldn't. So I was on stage, and Seth's manager, or what would you call her?
Stage manager?
Yeah, Seth's stage manager, because we each had our own. Was standing right in front of the teleprompter, and if you looked at the other ones, you would have been on screen, like, you know, looking at the air and shit.
Yeah, you
know,
could tell you were reading.
Huh?
You could tell. Like, I asked my chat, they were like, "Could you tell that like we were reading some segments?" And they were like, "Yeah."
Yeah, you could. And I'm like, she needs to
move.
But
like anybody.
But I was like, I had it in my mic, my mic in my ear, and I'm like, she needs to move. And then you heard the whole room through the speakers, she needs to move. And I'm like, I'm like, no. And I'm like, fuck, I just ruined it. I felt like I was shitting the bed the entire time up there, because I would start reading something, and then it would stop, and then it would be on Puckett's lines, and I would do it, and I'm just sitting there like deer in the headlights. There was this other, and again, listen, I'll tell you what, it had nothing to do with the people working the event. It was more of the technical, bullshit that we had to, sort of navigate through. When the guys went up there playing that dope ass songs, I was supposed to go on stage with them and say, okay.
Rob Landis and Marcus Veltri. They were so cool. They were there till like 4 a.m. with us.
Yeah.
Like 3:30 a.m. at rehearsals.
Because rehearsal started at 11 p.m. for me and Seth, and it said it ends at 3:30 a.m. And I'm like,
and thank goodness we did them, because. So like we've never done that. We've never had like the thing in your ear where people are talking to you like while you're trying to talk. You can hear yourself in the room. So it's like there's just so much going on. It's easy to like kind of tweak because there's just so many. You're hearing yourself talk.
I'd lose it.
There's someone talking in your ear like this is what's next. So it's like I was doing like one of my first segments, and thank God we rehearsed because Puckett and him were joking in my ear, and it caught me so off guard. I just froze. I was like, I don't remember what I'm talking about at all. And I froze during rehearsals, and I was like, fuck, that can't happen tomorrow. But I did freeze during rehearsals because like you're not used to it. Like you think you are. This thing is like deep in your ear. And you just hear Puckett like, oh, and you're like, what the? And you're like, what the fuck?
I wouldn't have been able to do that.
It's a good thing we had Puckett there, man.
It was a good thing we had Puckett. It was a good thing we did rehearsals.
Huh? Puckett's a professional.
Yeah, Puckett's probably
was
been through hundreds of those.
He probably just doesn't even like prep or
at
anything.
this point,
there was a guy there that was there for 56 days.
57.
57 days.
For what?
For work.
In the Esports World Cup.
Really?
Yeah, his name's Quickshot.
Oh, yeah, because
Every
isn't there a bunch of different games, bunch of different teams?
I think it's 21 different games.
Yeah.
30 different clubs.
Over
or
what?
something
Just like a few months?
God.
2 months. He was there for 57 days.
Over 35 teams competing for over 81 prizes.
Wait,
the
what was he-
largest prize pool in esports history.
What was he doing? The
Just
guy that was
commentate
there,
this thing.
Like hosting.
Oh
Yeah,
my
hosting.
He was like one of the
god!
hosts of the mainstream.
For
Yeah.
like every single game and like keeping
But-
shit going.
What's his name? Hotshot?
Damn.
Quickshot.
Quick shot. But I will say this.
He's a League of Legends. Like he comes from.
I
League.
wonder if he got a bag for that.
Who knows? But listen, there's level there's
How much you get
levels.
paid?
Yeah, there's levels to that shit though, because that guy, like, you know, off camera he sat down and he's like, hey, what do you want to talk about? And then the CEO of Esports Awards, Mike, said, oh, I'm gonna do this, that, and that. And he's like, all right, save that for the end because we're gonna do this in the beginning. I'm like, oh my god, this guy's like literally in charge of his fucking
Well,
domain.
you have to be with live stuff like that. Like you don't want to get up there and like not know what to ask or not know what to say, especially like
worst.
then you're doing an interview.
You would
like,
not have made it out there.
Yeah.
Dude, it
Rose,
was
you could do that?
a $1.11 in the shade at 5
Like
p.m.
what they did?
No.
Fuck no.
Hell
You wouldn't
no.
do it?
No.
Yeah, I FaceTime.
I would panic. I would choke.
I
Wait,
FaceTime.
Everyone would laugh. Y'all be sitting here watching live.
Dude,
My
I
face turned
FaceTime,
red. I cry.
I FaceTime Matt beforehand, and he was like, "Don't choke." And the whole time I was like, and I was like, Matt, I know, like, dude, Matt wouldn't do something like that. I feel like.
what?
You think Matt would do something like that? Like
I
get
feel
out
like
there?
Nate would be
No,
good as
but he
well.
would be good at it, I'm sure.
Yeah,
But he
was
wouldn't
like,
do it. Nah,
he was
he'd be
like, he was
scared.
like, "Don't choke," and I'm like, dude, the show starts in 2 hours. What do you mean, don't choke?
Yeah.
He's like, there's gonna be so many people watching. Like, you know how Matt is.
Dude, he was fucking talking shit. Like, I call him, I'm like, yo, look at this. He's like, oh, don't go. Don't go on stage. That's just fucking gross. He's like, show me again. And I'm like, no, you gotta take a picture of it. And I'm like, show me again. And I was like, all right. And then all of a sudden I see this, and I see the flash on his face. I'm like, I know you're not playing Counter-Strike, motherfucker. You just took a picture of my shit. Anyway, it was dope.
Then I just gotta talk on it real quick. Then obviously, I won Esports
Congrats,
Personality of the Year. We haven't hit on it yet. Thank you to everyone that voted. I believe Esports Awards is completely fan voted. So like people are like mad. They're like, how didn't this guy win? And I'm pretty sure there's like no panel. It's strictly fan votes.
Yeah.
So I think they told me how many votes I had. Can I say?
Yeah,
It was like
187.
it was over 500,000 votes.
Damn.
So thank you to everyone that did vote. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Well deserved. Congratulations.
Yeah, no,
Thank
definitely
you,
well
guys.
deserved.
I appreciate it.
So you're the first ever controller of the year, right?
Yep.
Console player of the year, and now you have this. So you have 2 Esports Awards.
Yeah, that's my second award. I appreciate it, and it was dope. I mean, to be nominated and then win in that category was kind of crazy. I didn't think I was gonna win. So when I did win, it was like, wow.
They sent me an email like, do you want to participate you want to be a nominee? Essentially, like, are you okay with promoting and all that? I'm like, hell no, I'm going to Kaisa Knott, fucking NADESHOT, fucking Scump. And but nah, man, it's like I've been nominated 7 years in a row. I lost. I get the point. I'm not gonna do it. Thank you. So get
Everyone
me
was like host cheese though, and I'm like, man, you can't just let me have this, man.
no, it wasn't.
Fuck.
No. Listen,
They're like host
if
cheese.
if I would have won, then yeah, host cheese because I was there and I haven't won in the last 6 years. But you're
Well,
and
neither
you
have
did
I.
have a 587. No, but you had votes and you have the fucking watch party and you've done your thing. So it's not.
I appreciate it.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it definitely deserved.
Plus,
That's
is
not
Kai
even a
like
question.
esports personality?
Well, he's playing video games now. So
Kai?
Yeah.
Was
No,
he
he
even
was
in
he
that?
was up for Streamer of the Year, not
Yeah,
Esports.
That's
Personality.
what people were.
Esports-
That's where the arguments come in.
Esports Personality. It was like me, Tarek, NADESHOT, iBuy.
Oh, okay,
like,
okay,
yeah,
okay,
like-
okay. I thought you were in there with them.
Yeah,
No.
there was uproar.
No way I'm
about,
winning that one.
I don't remember her name, but some
Rivers.
a female streamer, Rivers,
Rivers.
won streamer of the year over like Kai, Speed.
Yeah.
And everyone's just like saying how insanely impossible that is.
But,
But I
she's South
wonder-
American.
Where's
Well,
she
first
from?
off, I don't know anything about her,
Where's
but
she
it
from?
is
I don't think, I
You
don't
do
know,
look
I don't
at it
know,
like-
actually, Rivers Gigi.
anyone winning over Kai or Speed, like, or that Abai guy. I don't even know anything about him, but their numbers are so big that it's just like they just have to win. But it's like, is there?
Yeah,
They
And
might
people,
not
people are
promote
trying to
it.
say it's
If
rigged.
that
They wanted
girl
a
is from,
female
like, a-
streamer, but it was like maybe her
Dude,
people would just
she's
actually
got-
go out and vote.
Bro,
I'm
she's
pretty
got,
sure Rivers has won before.
Yeah, dude, yeah,
I
she's won
think.
before. She's got 6.8 million followers on Instagram.
Where's she from?
It doesn't say. Let me see. Nationality.
She probably has that type of, because there's like different type of fan bases. Like,
There you go.
Mexican.
She got a whole country behind her.
Así mero. Así mero.
Like-
Listen.
yeah, there's
I didn't know
like
she was- I didn't
different-
know that.
There's different type of fan bases to where like her fan base is like they're really about her and they want to see her win and they are willing to go take the time to actually go vote.
Yeah.
It's
And
not
then
even
there's
that,
like
it's
other
just
fan
like if you
bases to where it's like
have-
they fuck with them, but they just like tune in, they tune out. Like they're
Yeah.
not really into
Yeah.
this type of stuff.
No, but look,
So
dude,
I'm
she
sure- I'm
plays,
sure
but
she won fair and
she's
square.
literally playing video games though. You know what I'm saying? She's not doing like a. What would you consider Kai? Because he's playing.
Like
Yeah, he plays video games now,
IRL.
but IRL shit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
like-
he's like diversified a lot though.
Yeah. So like, listen, obviously Kai is fucking Kai, and no matter what we say, here's gonna, like, is that? But there has to be a thought in the entire fan base that the United States is in the end all be all, and that there are
Exactly.
massive people out there, right?
Well,
Like,
it's like Renato made a YouTube and he already has like 40 million
Million, yeah.
subscribers in a few days.
That's
Ronaldo,
insane.
yeah.
Tom Brady made a YouTube. He got like 70K
Yeah.
in the same
Yeah.
amount of
It's
days.
like-
yeah.
I look at it like, I guess, well, I was gonna say Tom Brady's is known as Ronaldo.
No.
But like in these other
I
countries,
look at it
No.
as
Not
like
but I look,
actually.
it's hard
Not
to,
even fucking close.
it's hard to think I would meet someone who doesn't know who Tom Brady is, even if they're fucking.
That's
No.
our fucking
knows.
American little closed mind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know, but
Yeah.
that's
It's
Brady.
I know that's my little American closed mind just
Nah,
doesn't see.
dude.
Yeah.
It's not even close.
It's insane.
when Tom Brady took a picture with Ronaldo in the stadium, like nobody gave it was like, who's that guy with Ronaldo? Ronaldo's got like 452 million followers on Instagram. Tom Brady has 16, maybe.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. So anyway, like,
Americans, we really do just like kind of live in our American bubble.
well, I mean, to be fair, no matter what part of the world you go to, they speak English.
Yeah.
You know, I've been to Saudi Arabia, I spoke English. I went to Tokyo, spoke English. I've been to France, spoke English. I've been to Mexico, I speak Spanish, but they spoke English. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, and I don't know. I do appreciate the fact that I got to experience a different part of the world that I've never been to. That one did feel like a journey. That one did feel, because even like I try to. On Find My on my Apple, like I can see where Jude is at all times. She can see where I'm at. I can see what Liv
Oh, yeah, I
is.
took
My
a
mom.
picture, sent it to Iz. I was like, this is the furthest we've ever
yeah,
been,
yeah,
for sure.
yeah. That's what I
Like-
told her too.
Yeah.
I've been to Italy twice this year,
Yeah,
France once,
Yeah.
and now Saudi. All those trips, they didn't feel like anything compared to Saudi.
No.
Like the
Really?
actual travel and
Yeah,
getting
I
there,
can imagine.
it didn't feel. They felt like it felt like me flying from here to LA. Like it's like, the way I can say is like, it's like me flying from here to LA. That's like me to Italy, and then to Saudi, it was like me to Italy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's how different the travel felt.
dude. To put a bow on it, I had a blast up there. Could it have gone smoother? Yeah. Do I want to get a second chance of seeing how good I would have been if my prompt would have been working? Absolutely. But if you look at the Oakley segment, when I put my glasses on, dude, I fucking nailed that shit. But when the two musicians were, were coming out, I was supposed to meet them. I was supposed to come out from the back mid-line saying, okay, that was Rob Landis and blah, blah, blah. And if you guys are at home, go follow him and everything. I'm like, man, here's my chance. I have a solo something. I'm going to be on stage. I have the solo. I'm going to knock it. I'm going to kill it. And then as soon as I come out, they're already rushing out. And I stepped out into the lights and I walked backwards back into my fucking hole.
Really?
Like a spider?
Yeah, because they were already coming back. And I'm like, no. And I was like, shit, I was supposed to interview a couple of people and they weren't there, so I was just like, "Oh my god!" I was like, "Man, at least some of this is not definitely my fault," which I obviously didn't want to.
But let's put a bow on it. Esports Awards was dope.
Yeah. Thank you for having us for sure.
Yeah, it was awesome. We had a good time out there. But
All right, you guys are getting to a point in your careers where you guys are doing pretty good for yourselves. So naturally, it's time to start teaching you kids how to make some good financial decisions. It's simple. We're gonna show you guys 2 images up here. You pick the one that's the better financial decision. Got it?
Got it.
First up, luxury supercar or fuel-friendly sedan?
Supercar. No supercar.
6 months of groceries or courtside seats?
It depends. Is Luca playing?
Luxury turbo 12 jet hot tub or create an emergency savings account?
20v1 in a hot tub would go kind of crazy, you know?
Now, a traditional low yield savings account or Cash App's 4.5% interest savings account?
Cash App.
That's right. You can now get up to 4.5% interest on your Cash App's savings account. Only when you deposit $300 or more in paychecks a month. Download Cash App from the App Store or the Google Play Store now.
That's money.
Yeah, man. That's Cash App.
another news, Cod Next was yesterday, and the game looks fire.
Amazing.
Shotzi
Yes.
actually said that this is the best game that we've had in the CDL era. So
They always say that, Nick?
I think I've heard it before.
no, they don't usually. People don't usually say that. Like the best game in the CDL era, that's like the past 6 years. So that's actually kind of big.
I believe it more with this one than anything else.
I texted Zin last night. I mean, I'm just gonna say what he said. I was like, "How was the game?" He said, "Very good." Like, quote. I mean, that's what quote. Like, but friend to friend, you know, like he would tell me like the shit's ass. You know what I'm saying? But he said, "Very good." Ton of fun. So I'm excited, man. We get the beta tomorrow, so we're gonna be grinding the beta. But the event, COD Next, it obviously sucked to not be there, but we just watch partied it. But the game looks awesome. I mean, the game looks fun. The movement looks smooth. The time to kill looks a little weird with the subs, but the game looks pretty dope. So
Yeah, I gotta actually play it. I don't know if I'm the biggest fan of like the movement yet, so I want to see how it actually feels.
yeah.
When I'm playing it,
And
not
it's
watching
nice because this year, usually it was like a PS5 exclusive, and the first weekend of the beta was on PS5. This year, it's immediately on PC.
Oh, yeah,
so we get
that's
2
what's
weeks. We get 2 weekends essentially of the game that we're gonna be playing all year. So it'll be dope to get like our hands on it. And there's 8 maps being dropped on the beta. So like, you know how betas are usually 3 maps. You're like, fuck, like I'm gonna sit here for 8 hours and play the same 3 maps over and over. There's 8 maps
Can't wait.
in the beta, so I'm pretty stoked.
Damn.
Yeah.
I was just
No,
excited.
I
You're smiling.
am hype about it. I unfortunately am gone both weekends, this weekend and the following weekend. Yesterday, Nadeshot got into town yesterday. Jude's like, hey, on Monday or Tuesday? When did they get here? Yesterday, Wednesday,
Yesterday.
right? So on Tuesday, Jude's like, hey, don't forget to text Matt and ask him like what the plan are and all that. And I'm like, oh yeah. Anyway, I hit him up and I'm like, yo, what time do you guys get in? He's like, that. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to go get you guys. So,
Oh, you went and got him?
yeah.
See, Matt's hilarious, bro.
What?
He's like, I already hung out with Hector twice today. You're fake. And I'm like, dude, what are you talking about, bro? He was pressing me so hard. He's like, it was like 8 p.m. last night. I'm like, we're in relax mode. I'm playing World of Warcraft. The new expansion just came out. So I'm in the living room on my laptop. Iz is watching Sex in the City. You know, we're both just
Parallel
vibing.
playing, yeah.
And Matt's like, you're a fake fuck. I can't believe you didn't hit me up to hang out on my first day here. And I'm like, bro, I just streamed COD Next all day. I had a sponsored stream. Like, let me chill.
Yeah.
So I think we're gonna hang out with him today. I don't know what we're gonna do, but
Dude, today, all right, so check this out. All right, so I go and get this guy. I go get Gracie, Haley, their nanny, and McGowan. So me and Jude show up. Jude, obviously very thoughtful, brings a fucking Pokemon thermal fucking lunchbox with waters, and she's being very thoughtful. And I'm sitting there like, holy fuck, I am not a good friend. Like, I wasn't thinking about any of this. Anyway, we we get them, we bring them to their house, we're hanging out. Jude helped them a lot. Like, she handled the movers, she handled the house cleaning, the electricians, the lawn. Like, she did all that for them. By the time that they got there, everything was all good. And then Nate's like, yo, let's go. I got to go get these TVs and shit. And I was like, oh, my God. The fuck? I'm like, all right.
Back to the crib, grab the other truck and shit.
Yeah, but it was like super, fast. So I'm like, all right, let's go get the fucking truck. We go get the truck. And then we get there, and then the guys are like, first of all, one of the dudes recognized us. He's like, I saw you, Hex, and I'm like, I definitely know this fool. And then I saw Matt, and I'm like, I definitely know this fool, and I couldn't believe it. All right, we load the fucking TV, 83 inches, fucking massive, dope ass TV. He bought 2 of those. And the guy, he's like, how you guys gonna take this? And I'm like, here. He's like, oh, you can't lay these down. And I'm like, oh my God, it won't fit any other way. So I have to drive back super slow on the highway so that there's no bumps and shit. I drop him off. I'm like, yo, I got some errands to run. Let me,
lying like a motherfucker.
Yeah, let me go do this shit. I have to go get right. You know what I'm saying? I have to go get right.
Lying like a motherfucker.
Anyway, after all that is said and done, I'm like, Haley, Matt, we can't do dinner together. You guys want to eat at 7? Jude and I haven't eaten. We're about to eat right now. Like, whatever. At 8:29, I get a text, and it's for me and Seth, and it says, hey, Hector, just a heads up. Seth didn't even come by today at all. Figured. And then he says,
meanwhile, he's texting me on the side like 30 minutes before. Like, he was so bored in his new house.
So he says, figured that you would have an opinion on that. All good if not. You would probably side with him anyways. And then Seth replies, haha, I had a sponsor stream in a Cod Next. And I just replied with, he had a sponsor stream, man, and he followed it up with Cod Next.
Wrong order, but I appreciate it.
What I meant by that is because he said you're probably gonna take his side with him anyway, so I did. I'm like, Matt, he had a sponsor stream.
So.
Oh. It's like when Sydney says, like, you show Seth favoritism. I'm like, yeah, because it's funny.
Yo, Matt's hilarious, dude. He's itching. I mean, it's his first day here. He sent me a picture, he sent a picture to me and it was like the Texas sunset, and I was like, get used to it, man. Best sunsets in the United States. Probably not, but Texas sunsets do hit a little different.
Yeah,
the sky's always like a nice reddish, like
we have clouds,
purplish.
Dude. Our clouds
are
fucking
tollway just looking up at shit.
Yeah, it's always a vibe.
Nice.
Crack a smile for one.
Hell
dude,
yeah.
sometimes I be driving and all of a sudden I take off and I'm flying away.
NADESHOT'S probably so hyped to hang out. Does he have a pool?
Yeah. Yeah, which means
God,
you have a pool.
I got some help with hosting now because this guy won't help. Now my house isn't gonna get. People have been very respectful recently. Can't say.
That's why I don't invite nobody. You know what I'm saying? Because I know they're gonna be spilling shit. The dog's gonna eat something they're not supposed to. Then the dog's gonna shit fucking everywhere.
That's why you really don't do it. You don't trust nobody around them dogs.
No, it's not even that. My biggest fear is that somebody spills something, one of the dogs drinks something or eats something, then the dog shits somewhere they're not supposed to, and now there's like this whole thing. I'm kidding. But that is the way that I do think. We met a bunch of people out there in Saudi Arabia. One of the people being one of the guys from Falcons. We talked a little bit about the reception that they received on the announcement.
Yeah,
and
that was whack.
You know what I told them?
People are hating.
Why was that whack?
Because it's like, they're gonna support their team. They're not gonna go shopping around for.
I mean, it's their spot. At the end of the day,
they can do whatever they want.
Fuck they want to do.
Yeah.
It's they're the ones paying for it.
I told them, I'm like, don't fucking listen to anyone's opinion in this community. Do yourself a favor. Do what I've done. Don't go on Reddit for 5 years. This is filled with people with opinions who have never done shit to begin with. There's some people out there that are cool on Reddit, but I told them, do not listen to fucking anyone, least of all the fucking players. You fucking put out there, and I'm not just telling you this because I don't want to have competition. It's not about that, right? I'm sure that these guys are going to evolve because they're good players. That Xnit kid was fucking going off, period. So if he gets to play against regular people, like, he's going to have some form of elevation that makes him better. Or not. Either way, Do what the fuck you were gonna do. Don't listen to anybody, least of all the fucking players or the people that consider themselves experts in the fucking community. Okay?
Yeah.
Where are they going to be practicing from?
Here, they're gonna be moving.
Okay.
I don't know if they're moving to Vegas.
I mean,
though.
it's only up for them.
Yeah.
If they come out,
Like-
they come out first series of the CDL, they take it to a game 5, like that entire fucking
bro, it was
country's hype.
They'll get better.
It was so like the shit that I was watching though, like the opinions that I saw is like, man, they could come in and they can buy out Shotzi, they can buy out Hex, they can buy everyone 10 times over. But that's not what they are about. They're about elevating their culture and what they're doing, and that's
that
why
makes
they're doing it.
perfect sense to me.
Yeah.
Like it did not make sense to me. I'm like, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the Heretics. Heretics came in, they kept their squad.
Yep,
They didn't really
exactly.
It's a
stray.
Spanish org,
They
yeah.
didn't really
How
stray
you
from
do
that
it.
path.
Yeah.
I mean, I can see the argument of like people want the CDL should be the best players in the world.
Yeah.
And just because you can afford it
Yeah.
doesn't mean you should. Just because you can afford it doesn't mean you can just like. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
I have a point, but I don't know how to like
No, I know what you're
make
saying.
my point.
It's like
you shouldn't just be able to buy a spot
that's
and
the
bring
case-
whoever you want.
if
Like
that's-
it should be a league of the best players in the world.
If that is the case, then people in the nosebleeds at any football or basketball team should be courtside because they are the biggest fans there. And just because they can't afford, like, I go to NBA and sit courtside, and I don't follow the NBA the way that I used to in the 90s. So does a bigger basketball fan deserve that seat? It's not about that even.
Yeah.
At that point. So either way,
I'm
like,
not saying that's how I look at it, but I
Yeah.
can understand why people would want that. Obviously, it has nothing to do with me or would affect me. To be honest, I think this gives imagine they did say buyout players and the team kind of sucked and they were just kind of in the back of the pack.
Yeah.
Like no one would give a fuck.
Yeah.
But them sticking to their culture, their people, their players, bringing
Yeah.
them over here, it adds another storyline to the CDL, which
And a region. I mean, it adds a completely new region of fandom too.
Yeah,
I mean,
new region, a new by the end of the season they could. We'll see, but like
Listen,
they can do
listen,
some
I'll tell you
upsets.
what,
This is
they'll
gonna
probably
make
be like they'll
storylines,
probably be like top. I mean, they'll be at the best
Middle of the pack?
middle of the pack.
okay.
Yeah.
If it's
Mid-
middle of
they're
the
not gonna
pack,
be top
middle
four.
of the pack is way better because like think
Yeah.
about I understand, and we were going back to this like this bubble that Americans live in, right? Where they're like, well, they could just go get formal but yeah, of course they can, but that's not what they're building.
I'm
literally,
a Falcons fan.
like think about the amount of money that they're spending on buying esports and
I mean,
fucking
I
having
hope
them there
they're-
for like a month.
I hope they're decent because it'll make things
Better, yeah.
interesting. Like if they bring like obviously their
Yeah.
players over and they're decent,
Yeah.
that'll be like it's just another storyline
Hell yeah.
for like the CDL. Like these guys stayed true. They
The COD community
Literally
is
every
hilarious,
match
yeah.
would be
Huh?
is
The COD
interesting with them
community
if they
is
can
so
make it
funny to
close.
me.
yeah.
Think
Everyone
about
was throwing a fit and shit. I'm like, bro, I don't see
Well,
it.
I do
don't
get it though
it.
because you think about it. There's only 12 spots in the league right now. If Falcons come in, they take a spot. Somebody else, like if Miami keeps their team, they're not switching. They're not getting NA players. That's now 48 players that were in the league for like NA because the North American like amateur scene thinks that they deserve those spots. I mean, straight up, they think they deserve
Why?
those CDL spots. And now it's like there's only 40 spots, and the top 4 like they're not picking up challengers players because they're the top 4.
Yeah, I
So now you
mean-
think about that. Now there's 6 teams that aren't fielding like the middle of the pack talent right
yeah.
now in challengers or the CDL. It is kind of crazy because like those opportunities, there's just less opportunities, which makes it even harder to get into an already harder league to get into.
Again, it's
So I do get like why they're frustrated.
you
I get
shouldn't.
why they're
You
frustrated.
you should not,
They're-
though.
They feel like they're entitled to that spot.
Okay, listen.
but
I feel
they shouldn't, but-
I feel like the players are going through what endemic organizations went through when the CDO launched. You know what I'm saying? Like I had to partner with someone to participate in this thing,
I don't
whether
feel
I
bad
needed a
for
partner
none
or
of the
not.
Players.
Huh?
I don't feel bad for none of the players.
Me either.
If they're the ones bitching about it.
No,
but the players
I don't
are like,
either.
where I was
players
going,
are
it's
like,
like it's this.
Now
this
how am I getting in?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, maybe you won't.
yeah, it's but
gotta
well, I
stand
want a
out.
participation trophy. Is what I'm
Exactly.
fucking hearing.
I'm sure if someone in the challenger scene was like taking over, standing
taking
out,
over like a
they would-
Scrappy, like
you-
Scrappy.
they would
was
either
taking
be on a
over.
team that's here, or maybe they would have worked their way on. Maybe they would have placed somebody on this roster.
No.
Like who? I'm just saying in
Yeah,
general. Like
And
No,
there
it's-
still
it's
is
a-
opportunity. Like, what if
Of
Falcons? What if
course.
Falcons comes in, they don't do well, and now the Falcons are looking at this like,
4 new
okay, now we
players.
might want to go and look at some new players.
Nah,
So,
that's not how. I don't think that's how they're gonna get down. They just
even
have.
if, I'm just saying hypothetically, what if they're the worst team in the league and they aren't getting like any wins?
Look at Heretics. Look at Heretics.
Heretics get wins. Heretics
Yeah.
aren't horrible.
Yeah.
Heretics beat us at Major 4.
Yeah, but think about how they started, and they stuck with it because they wanted to have an all-Spanish team. When
That's- I mean, yeah, that's also the
Paris
way they could go.
when Paris was a thing, when London Royal Ravens was a thing, like the fact that Paco, a Frenchman, was somewhere other than the Paris team was like a clear indication as to how nobody took this thing to for
I
what it was
agree.
supposed to be. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Like the first thing that I would have done is contacted the biggest creator in France and been like, hey, would you like to co-own this team with me? Blah, 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 and go down that route. Listen, I feel for the players who are losing their spots, but in the end, guys, this is competition. Just because you've been here from the beginning of time, as orgs like mine, as orgs like Hastro's, as orgs like, think about every single endemic org that has been working in Call of Duty since 2009 until the CDL launched, and how many of them got kicked out because they systematically removed them so that they can bring in all of the professional team owners. And where are they now? You know what I'm saying? So what's happening to the players now happened to us as org owners already, and nobody gave a fuck because the players were like, oh, well, fuck the orgs. We'll go play for fucking ever.
Sometimes you just get dropped and your career is over. So you start playing H1Z1, taking that all.
It's cutthroat, man. I mean, that's just how it is.
It's
It's at
cutthroat.
the end of the day,
Man.
it's a show, but first and foremost, it's a business for these teams. So you got to stand out and you got to earn your spot, and you got to stand out to these organizations because they're the ones who make the decisions.
Well, that's the other thing, right? Even like I heard Zinni say this, and sometimes when Zinni says something, who I love dearly, and I know that I give him a tough time, but I give him a tough time because this is my boy. Why the fuck wouldn't I give him a hard time? But he said he's like, well, I don't see it. Like I don't see how they're gonna make money. They don't need. This is not a business for them. This is a project for them to elevate the options for their people there, right? They're growing esports in Saudi Arabia. You know what I'm saying? So for them, making money is not a fucking top of the line thing for them, right? Because that's not why they're building this. Do they have government funding, Seth? Do you know? Like, I don't even know if they do or don't. Doesn't
no
matter. What I'm
idea.
saying is that this isn't a business play for them to make money.
This is probably the start of a 15, 20-year
more.
roadmap.
Yeah. Exactly. So, it may not make sense to you guys because you guys see this thing as well, you have to make money or something. But it's like, no, if you got a lot of money, you don't need to do that.
Got a lot of money.
Yeah.
That'll be all right.
Yeah. They're gonna be fine. I'm excited. I'm excited.
CDL's, I mean, CDL, I feel like every year over year, it's gotten more and more interesting, at least from my perspective, just like being in the CDL and now being a very, very close spectator of it. It's like, it's crazy how much it's just developed and evolved since that year number one. It's crazy. I think this CDL year, again, I always say it, but it's kind of like the NFL. It's like these new rosters get formed and new storyline comes in. I mean, it's just, hey, as a spectator, I'm all right with it. I think it's, I love watching it. So
Yeah.
I think it's going to be one of the craziest years. Again, I feel like the bar keeps getting pushed higher and higher with the God squads that are forming and the entertainment value. And now we've got some storylines starting to form for the new generation. So CDL is going to be lit next year.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Looking
I mean, we're
forward
still a
to it.
long way out. But
Yeah, and look, again, should the CDL be the one with the most competitive? Yes, absolutely. Let's work towards that, but let's not get all bogged down and feel helpless for this because we had an American organization, right, that came in last and they didn't make it to finals, right? Like that was an American organization with American motherfucking players and they didn't make it. So for them to say it's like just because of somebody's out of the country. They can't do because they were hanging in there. They were hanging in there. So we'll see. Their gameplay is definitely going to elevate.
Yep.
What was the the World Cup? Did any of the challenger teams make cause an upset or anything?
There were a couple upsets. I think there were two challengers teams knocked out pro teams in pool play, but then none of the challengers
shit.
teams ended up making it to the
Alec.
bracket.
What was Alec's thing?
But none of them made it to the bracket because the bracket was only 8 teams. So, I mean, there's 12 CDL teams. So 2 of them, I think Vegas got knocked out in groups, and G2, which was Minnesota, got knocked out
So
in
there were
groups.
challengers teams that beat some CDL
Yeah,
teams.
yeah.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
There were a few. There were a few upsets.
I was wondering if that was gonna happen because
Yeah.
like there is always this argument of like, you know, this person in challenger should be in. Why is this motherfucker
Friendship
still in
League,
CDL? Friendship league.
Yeah.
So I was interested if.
But then no
some-
challengers team made the bracket. So like there were upsets, but none of them made the 8-team like single elimination.
Yeah.
It was all CDL.
Yeah.
Single limb though.
Yeah, single limb is fucking
That shit's
crazy.
whack.
I
Yeah.
love pool play though. That shit's lit. I don't
Yeah.
know why.
Yeah, pool play is fun until like the last couple matches where you're like, all right, I know who's gonna win. Like in Halo especially,
Yeah.
where you're like, okay, FaZe is
When we
about
do
to
a-
play, or we're about to play like a top 16 amateur team. Like
A watch party
You
on a
just
Friday
know-
with Halo. It's like, all right.
Yeah,
Then
we know-
Saturday, it's like, all right, the tournament begins.
yeah. So yeah, pool play. I think the format is just better for the players, pool play wise. I mean, there's more matches. You get an opportunity to kind of settle into the tournament. You're not just getting thrown into the tournament right away. So
Especially
like
with
the
that
pool play
time
format.
Every
change.
tournament
yeah,
back in the day was pool play, right?
pretty
Yeah.
much everyone.
Pretty much everyone.
Yeah.
Also, something else. Speaking of Esports World Cup, Velo received 2 strikes for teabagging at Esports.
Yeah.
Were they super strict about? Because I think I saw like Scrap just like stand up and be like, oh.
Yeah. Nah, they were definitely like Insight got a warning.
Did
He
they, like,
came
sit-
over and
He's
was
like-
like he was like relax.
Did they like sit everyone down and like go over this is what you can do, this is what you can't do?
I'm sure they had to like outline it, but I mean teabagging definitely falls on the other side of being respectful or
2 strikes
disrespectful.
for-
I mean, teabagging someone, there's no way it can be respectful. There's no respectful teabag. So I could see why he got 2 strikes for that because they were pretty adamant on,
What would happen with 3 strikes?
I don't know, probably DQ.
Because that's happened to me before. I had to sit my controller down for a minute.
Yeah, probably disqualification.
Fucking made up weird shit. I picked my controller back up, started dominating. One of the best games I've ever played. They were up 4-0, I think, an onslaught flag. I picked, like, my team's just fucking trolling. It was an onslaught flag game. I sit my controller down, or I get all of my technicals at the end of the last game. I'm like standing up, screaming, talking shit. And then they were like, the ref's just sitting there like, 1, 2, 3. Okay, 3
He
technicals.
was counting down in front
I
of
don't
you.
know, I guess, because I got 3 technicals just within like 20 seconds of the game ending because I was going crazy. So starting up the next game, I had to sit my controller down for a minute to start. They were like, yeah, they just got to play 3v4 off the rip. And they're just getting pummeled. Just instantly.
Who, your team?
Instantly,
Three
all of them
dead.
die off rip.
Yeah.
We're just in an onslaught flag. You get spawn trapped so hard. So they end up capping like 4 flags. I pick my controller back up, start dominating. We win. End up winning the series. I think like 3-2, went to game 5. But I don't know. That's funny. But
Why do
I
we-
saw that and I was like, oh shit. Or I forgot they were probably super strict over there for all that stuff.
Why is OpTic Night not up there? OpTic Night's coming up really shortly. We do it every year with
Monday.
the Rangers.
Yeah, it was Monday.
Yeah, so why it's not up there on the board? We got OpTic Night coming up. Rangers versus the
Interesting.
Yankees. Hector's throwing out the first pitch.
Yeah.
Oh,
you know what?
shit.
You know what? For the record, I said.
Have you
all right.
announced that yet, or did I just?
No, it's all good. Yeah. So for the record,
So what's going on at Rangers Night this year? Do we have new jerseys? What's
we
going
have
on?
we have a new jersey. We have a new collaboration with the Rangers. It's the 3rd iteration of the jerseys. It's this time it's an all black one with OpTic green, etc. And then simultaneously or in tandem, we have our own like baseball jersey that we do on a yearly basis. And we have this year's is fucking sick. The hat's fucking mega dope. It's got this quarter. It's fire. But I told Dashy and Shotzi, I'm like, yo, which one of you wants to throw the first pitch? And they said, no. I'm like, all right. If neither of you do it, I'm gonna do it.
Man,
Boom.
lame. Get out there and throw the first pitch, man.
That's
Oh,
what I
yeah.
said.
Get out there.
But
Oh,
I
yeah.
understand
don't wanna choke.
the apprehension. I
Why?
understand. Oh, you know, what if you throw it? And I tell them, yo, do what Seth did. Like,
There's
just
been some bad
get in
ones.
front of the bag 15 feet and you'll be fine.
Yeah, you don't have to.
That's what Seth had to do?
No, I'm kidding.
Nah, he's just mad because I threw a better first pitch than him.
No.
Yeah,
Either
mine,
way.
you heard the glove pop. His was like, a little limp fucking. Yeah.
I was fucking way behind you though. I even drew the line. It doesn't matter.
Wait, so
Long
we're
story
getting bent
short,
up?
this Monday, I'm throwing the first pitch. Game is against the Yankees. It's going to be
Ooh, that boy
fire.
Judge.
It's going to be fire. I cannot wait to be
Yeah, that
there.
shit's dope.
We're doing a meet and greet. Me, Kenny, Shotzi, and Karma, I think. But I'll be there. Either way, super excited about it. We'll see you guys there on Monday. That's going to do it for this episode
We
of the
drinking?
podcast. Yeah, dude, we're drinking, dude.
I don't know because it's beta weekend, so I might have a
You're
few.
a beta
but-
weekend.
Well, it'll be on Monday. When does the beta end?
30th through the 4th is the first slot, and then 5th through the 8th, or 6th through the 8th is the
Dude,
second.
I'm missing the whole
30th
thing.
through the 4th.
Jude's birthday is next week, so we're in
Oh,
New York for her
damn.
birthday.
It's like a week long.
So I'm in Chicago this weekend, then New
Like a
York the
5-day
following weekend.
beta.
I got
Yeah,
no
man,
time
it
for
starts
myself
tomorrow,
nowadays.
man.
Damn.
Just
Yeah, you
work.
gotta go
It's,
to
just-
that-
it's all work in this
You
job.
gotta go to that Italian restaurant.
I'm going to Cote. I was able to get into Cote. This like
Yeah.
Michelin star.
it might as well fucking be. It is having food there is like. Anyway, I'm gonna go off on New York next time. So either way, ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna do it for this episode 189 of the OpTic Podcast, brought to you by Cash App. We will see you guys next week. Peace out.
Yeah, buddy.